Anna Kasparian is ditching the left. She slams the liberals, the progressives, and wokeism on this brand new podcast appearance with Jillian Michaels. And she's like an ex Hollywood girl, like was on Big Fat Loser, whatever. She's cool. She also left the left. So they're going to talk about just that. It's juicy, guys. By the way, make sure you subscribe to my channel. I post 2 new videos every single day, and let's get into it.
I remember watching you on Patrick Bet David. I didn't even watch Patrick Bet David. He was so far right, but somehow the friggin' YouTube algorithm
Hmm.
flicked it up in my feed, maybe because I had been vocal at the time about leaving California. And you articulated everything wrong with California. And that was the moment I discovered you.
Hmm.
And I found you online and have been, devouring your content since then. But nobody can express this, not Elon Musk. Nobody expresses what's wrong here
Hmm.
from a governing perspective like you do. So I'm just going to say I grew up here.
Me too.
Okay. Nothing was crazy like this.
Right?
The homelessness, crime, uh, the advocating for the medicalization of children, like advocating for late term abort, like I'm never gonna put a limit on. Like, what about 8 months? No,
Hmm.
still no. Like, what do you mean still no? Like,
Hmm.
what happened to legal, safe, rare? Come on. Like, there's a limit. Come on. Like this madness. And I personally feel that I have lived through it, and Gavin Newsom is the tip of that
Yeah,
spear.
for sure.
Go. Take me from the top to the bottom. No one does it like you do. And the concern is that it goes from California
Hmm.
to a federal problem.
Yeah, that should be a concern. And in fact, some of the failed policies that we've implemented here, unfortunately, have been exported to other states.
Right.
And I'll give you a quick example because, yeah, because people are ditching the blue states and fleeing to states like my home state, Arizona, Texas, Florida, and they're ruining it. They want to ruin their states, these new states. Like, keep your crazy policies in your state, please. We have literally squandered $25 billion on the homeless issue over the last 5 years. And I say squandered because there was recently an audit that wanted to see, like, okay, where did the money go? Because over the last 5 years, we've spent all this money, but homelessness has exploded. Homelessness has increased by 58% since 2013. Okay, so obviously this money isn't going where it was supposed to go.
Right.
And so it turns out that the state government started giving out these grants during, well, not during, but after 2020.
Okay.
And the grants that they would give out to were these nonprofits, newly formed nonprofits in many cases, that were tasked with helping the homeless. Except some investigations found they weren't actually helping the homeless. They were giving their executives some massive raises, lots of gifts to the. Yeah, and that's what you'll see, guys, is a lot of these policies, they sound good. We want to house the homeless. No one should be homeless. But then that's not really what's happening when you actually see what transpires when it's passed. Yeah. Mm-hmm. Staff. You know, there are videos of some of these nonprofits literally going to Skid Row and handing out crack pipes.
Right.
And that's their idea of helping the homeless. So the project Room Key handing out crack pipes, that is comical. Expansion happened. And some of these nonprofits that were tasked with converting old hotels and motels into apartment buildings for the homeless didn't finish their projects, abandoned their projects after getting tens of millions of dollars in these state government grants. And I'm furious about this. They stole from us. And so, yeah, you should be. This should wake you up. So I'm glad to see it. So when you have that experience here, right, in California, and you see how all of these politicians who have all of these friends, who run all of these nonprofits, who stole our money, when you see that, it's really hard to have these conversations about how we need to increase taxes on anyone. You know, increase taxes on the rich, increase taxes on corporations. Generally speaking, I'm in favor of everyone paying their fair share.
Right. Me too.
But I'm less interested in having a conversation about taxing people more when I've seen what is done with our money. On a federal level, a lot of it goes to the military, right? Not even the military, not to the men and women who risk their lives for this country. It goes to weapons manufacturers, defense contractors,
Yep.
Boeing, Raytheon. You get the point.
Mm-hmm.
You look at the starting salary of a soldier in our military, and it's like 20 something thousand dollars, considering we're spending close to $1 trillion a year on our defense department. That's it's insane,
The
right?
cops don't make much either, Sim.
They don't, right? And if you want quality cops,
Pay them.
you need to pay
Train 'em.
them, exactly. But also, defunding the police makes no sense when you need better training. Better training costs money.
Right.
So all of these things, all of these ideas that I used to subscribe to on the left have been implemented and they have failed. And I'm not interested in having a conversation about keeping this gravy train for a select few going.
This is great. I'm loving this. Welcome to the dark side, Anna.
Because it's the, in their view, moral thing to do. Like, no, this is not moral. All of the problems that you guys said you were going to fix, you have made worse. They refuse to recalibrate, and it's infuriating.
Why? Okay. Why?
Mm-hmm.
And I'm not done with California, but you said refuse to recalibrate. For the life of me, I remember Michelle Obama, Let's Move.
Mm-hmm.
Health is an alt-right issue now, which I want to get to a bit later on, but I remember the Obamas were anti-gay marriage. Then we got them to, okay, gay marriage.
Right.
And now it's, let's medicalize children and put them on off-label cancer drugs and chop off their boobs. And the Obama administration is trying to lift any age restriction on it. They tried to pass that through.
Did they really?
Yes, Google it. Obama,
I did not know
Biden,
that.
Biden, the Biden
Oh,
administration.
Biden, okay.
I'm so sorry.
Yeah.
The Biden administration has moved to remove any age limitation on the medicalization of gender dysphoria. I have no problem with you changing all that stuff. I just want your brain to be developed. And it is irrefutable that cancer drugs and puberty blockers will greatly impair a developing human body, in particular, not just your bones, your brain. Your brain. It says on the box of Lupron, brain swelling. Like, are we insane? And I'm
Literally insane. Think about that.
watching Michelle Obama at the DNC, who I loved. Not gonna lie to you, I loved her. And she's advocating for that. And I'm thinking, how did you get from anti-gay to here? There's no way you've made that quantum leap in your ideology, is there?
Well, I think what happens is
What is happening?
every action by one side leads to an equal or even more extreme reaction. And so I think what has happened, look, I'm not necessarily on board with completely banning all of those treatments. Like, there are cases where someone who is a minor is suffering from gender dysphoria that's so extreme, and they might be suicidal as a result of that.
See, this is where I'm going to have to disagree with Anna, and that's like her more liberal side is shining. But hey, she's on the right path. She's going to be red pilled. She's going to be an Andrew Tate simp before we know it, guys. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Pretty interesting. It's always, I mean, she's like the face of progressivism, like with the Young Turks. So I wonder what Shank thinks about all of this. But thank you so much for watching, guys. I'll see you next time.